Okay, network problem, but we are back again. Still reviewing the paper and also having a look at the election campaign that is about to kickstart from today, where a lot of you are also monitoring all these 91 political parties that we have that will be telling Nigerians what they have and what they want to offer to all and everyone, from the widow to those that are really in need of it. Once again, still on the road, and as you can see, it's a Sunday afternoon here in Lagos. While we continue to review the paper, we also show you the other, coverage from the side of the vehicle, where you can also see. Let us look at the other headline there. Shiite matter also. Shiite lives also matters. I'm sure a lot of you notice that there have been protests by the Shiites where their leader is still being detained, even though there have been all kind of bail, but yet it's still being held. While I'm going to be reading through that, I'm going to be showing you the view from the window side of the vehicle. The Shiites should be meaningfully engaged to resolve all areas of dispute. And this is written by Jude Ndueke of This Day. This Day is the paper that we are using to review what is happening, election, and all other stories in the paper today. And as you can see there right in front of you, a very busy day. So much has been said about the growing fractious relationship between the military and the civil society. Before now, our military, especially the army, had been the bastion of discipline, restraining, and civility. Growing up, a lot of us fantasized about how we would join the military and shine before our civilian mates with our neat and well-ironed uniform, shining boots, and smart look. We fantasized and boasted about how we would defend our nation and the people against any external aggression from any quarters, no matter how powerful. And again, we are reading this from This Day newspaper, where we are reviewing the election campaign and all other stories coming out of Nigeria today. Let's go a little bit further. So in such situation, particularly the unwarranted killings of the Shiites in Abuja, the army has options. And as we all know, so in such situation, particularly the unwarranted killing of the Shiites in Abuja, the army has other options to neutralize the protesting Shiites. That is, if they must be involved, or else more sense than direct engaging youth exercising their right of assembly, movement, and association over government flagrant disobedience to valid court order granting their leader bail. And that is what the paper is saying right there. Let us take a little bit at the other stories again. Lagos Moj and its ADR mechanism. That is what I'm going to be looking at in the next few minutes. Once again, it's Koiki Media Live in Lagos, Nigeria, the 18th of November 2018. As we continue to show you what it takes like, and also continue to give you the review on the election that is coming up, campaign. Social media is going to be bombarded between now and the next 90 days. Social media to get their message out there. But right now, also, Atiku is saying he's going to be launching out officially tomorrow at 12 o'clock using the same Facebook. So I hope a lot of you now can see the importance and also how. Okay, while we continue to review the paper, I was just changing over, as you can imagine. Internet is one of the most important for any economy to grow, but also no matter how many you have, sometimes you just have to keep switching over. Anyway, it was the former, and I'm going to be reading from this particular line while we continue to review the paper. So much to look into. You can join the conversation if you want to. Good evening to you all over there, Daniel, and those of you that are watching that we can't see. While we are showing you what it is like outside, we will also tell you some of the other stories. It was the former US President, Mr. Barack Obama, who said that for African nations to develop and join the committee of the modern society, she needs strong institutions more than strong men. The implication of that statement is that only strong institutions that uphold noble values such as observance and respect of rule of law, integrity, and awareness that they exist primarily to serve public good are capable of uplifting the profile of any nation in the world. Do you agree with that as well? Until we have a strong institutions that uphold noble values such as observance and respect of rule of law. Do you think, for those of you that are watching and those that will be watching this later, Nigeria has rule of law for everyone? Is it one same for all or one for individuals depending on who you know? That is what this is telling us right here. Let us take one more from that article by Kazim, the Lagos State Attorney General Commissioner for Justice, and he's also saying Nigerians, because of their ethnic background and some other primordial reasons in the nation crying for unity. Pointedly, one public institution in Nigeria that has come to symbolize all the hypocrisy of Nigerian oneness and, more troubling, the rot and human resource inadequacy in the country's public institution is the unbequeathed Lagos State Ministry of Justice. A lot of you will wonder why so many court law have been disobeyed, so many cases have been pending for more than 10 years, but justice doesn't seem to be coming that quick. Once again, we are looking at the paper review. Stuck in the traffic, Sunday, people coming back from the church. People are looking at what is going to be the campaign. What are the politicians going to be selling to them this time around? So many things not in the right position. So many things are wrong. Electricity will give us a lot of security. Without the electricity, there's no security. Good healthcare will make you to have good workmanship of individuals in different sectors. Let us take a look at the other side of the other stories. Beyond tolerance and traditional beliefs, one of our biggest problems. Beyond tolerance and traditional belief. As 2019 approaches, all our discourse has been taken over by the political mess we have found ourselves since independence. But there may yet be time for more patent issue of why we are so blessed truth spoken. It is time we look back at how we left the path of our forefathers for those of our aliens in severe clothing. A situation that has left the nation with all kinds of public holidays dedicated to these foreign beliefs, but none to our indigenous faith. You realize that we have so many foreign holidays, but yet we don't have, special days for like different festivals, different cultural beliefs that we know exist in Nigeria, but we would rather have the foreign ones embedded in our public holiday. That is what this paper is saying here. Let's take a look at it a little bit more in a deep. According to another discourse IK of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Traditional Religion, nowhere is this stupidity as advertised it in his Nollywood films. In his words, it has been the vogue in these video films to cast our traditional belief system in the worst of light as though evil is our second nature. That is what that paper is saying there. And I'm going to repeat that. Again, we are looking at the beyond tolerance and traditional beliefs. A lot of us are not even want to know anything to do with traditional beliefs, because we believe from what this individual of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Traditional Religion is saying, that most of these Nollywood movies that we all watch at one point, most of our children are watching it, has been put out to say all the traditional belief is more of evil. If anything, though beyond tolerance has shown that although often derided and denied in high places, our past is yet undue for passage into premature. We will leave that for now. Also, it says there, purity and the future of our nation. What is the future of Nigeria? And what is the future of Nigerians inside Nigeria as the election is getting closer? So many people with different problems, yet we have election that is coming. What are they going to be telling Nigerians this time around? As you can see there, Nigerians are demanding a lot now about the future of their lives. Education is very important. Security and future of our nation. When Nicole first came up with the idea that security could be rightly or wrongly employed in governing a country, he may have had Nigeria in mind. According to him, security is used well if it is permissible to talk in the way of what is evil. A lot of things that is happening in Nigeria is because some individuals have decided to hold the country to ransom, while others are struggling, as you can see there. A country with so much opportunity, but yet because individuals, groups of people, what will be the campaign for this election that is very, very close? The election is getting closer. Going by the records, Nigerians in case after cases have witnessed situations where politicians and leaders come up with policies aimed at starving helpless civil servants, pensioners to their early graves, and security agents take laws into their hands without thinking of the long and short-term damage their act of impunity has on Nigerians and the watching world, a reality that testifies that our moral principles have lost it. All right, well, we continue to show you the view. Let us continue with what this particular message that is coming out from this, and we still have more to look into. But very seriously, there has never been an act of security in the recent times more horrifying in the intensify than the attack by the Nigerian army on the protesting Shiite Islamic group in Abuja that left dozens of members dead, while their army claims that they have resorted to such actions because its men were pelted with stones by the group. Let's now look at some of the most important things for 2019, the road to 2019, Flashpoint. We're going to be looking at that. We've just left Ondo State. I've read so many people's comments on the auto rally in terms of politics around it, but I could tell you that it's got nothing to do with politics, and that is completely different from politics. These are road to 2019 Flashpoint. We'll be looking at that. You can join this conversation if you want as well. Officially, the 2019 campaign starts today, and the battle for placement by politicians commence real time. Olawale Olaleye writes. While I'm going to be reading that, I'm going to be showing you what it looks like in Lagos. And these are what Nigerians should be asking each of these political parties, each of these chairmen, each of these House of Rep, senators, what they're going to be bringing on the table come 2019. A lot of things is going to happen. An instructive test case. We're going to look at that. Kwara, the PDP and the APC in Kwara State yesterday had a major popularity test as the battle in by the by-election in Irekpodun and Ilesami Ero Federal Constituency. The seat became vacant following the demise of Mrs. Funke Adedoyin, former occupant of the office. May her soul continue to rest in peace. With yesterday's election, it was clearly not a battle between the candidate of the major party, but a straight fight between the trio of President Muhammad Buhari and the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and the President of the Senate, Dr. Olubukola Saraki, as the struggle for the soul of Kwara politics yesterday. What an interesting time ahead. And that is what the paper is saying there, right there. An instructive test case in Kwara yesterday. We can see Sanwo-Olu there, a lot of the politicians. Yet I can't see all the new political parties. I don't know whether they're still in the paper. I'll let you know. But there's a lot happening. Each of the states have different problems. Katsina, Bauchi, Lagos, Enugu, Ogun State, Niger, Imo, Zamfara, Anambra, Kano, Adamawa, Sokoto, Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, Delta, Ondo, Plateau. There's a lot of problems each of these states would encounter as the 2019 election gets closer. Let's take a look at this again. The headline there. Nigeria, South Africa, major contributor to sub-Sahara Africa 15.5% external debt rise. Our debt rise, and this is by Kunle Aderi Nokun. And this is the business review of this day, the Sunday newspaper, Koiki Media, live in Lagos, Nigeria. Election campaign kicks off today. We're going to witness all kind of campaign, and social media will be one of them. If you're not aware, all you just have to do is keep a close eye to what will be coming up from Twitter, from Facebook, because election is going to be, the campaign is going to be a complete different one from what you know as we move into 2019. Let us take a look into some of the other stories. Ease of doing business, Nigerians' outlook bright with reforms. That is coming up on page 23 of this day, the Sunday newspaper. Ease of doing business, Nigeria outlook bright with reforms. And that is him, one man that brings everybody together, connecting the world. Facebook, the numbers is growing. Nigeria will be high on it for the next 90 days as all the political parties will be spending billions, if not millions, whether in dollars, in naira, campaigning heavily. And the headline says, inside Nigerian companies where workers are employed based on skills, not academic qualification. There is a likelihood that the growing number of unemployed youth in Nigeria may drastically reduce as some companies now focus more on skills rather than educational qualifications of potential employees. And that is the headline there coming on this day. Let us take a look at some of the other headlines. A lot is happening. Election is coming. Nigerians will be asking all kinds of questions. And this is, I believe, Aderemi Makanjuola. We opened the oil and gas service shuttle to Nigerians. He's the chairman of the board of Caverton Offshore Support Group. Mr. Aderemi Makanjuola is also a visionary entrepreneur who transformed the oil and gas aviation service sector, opening it up for further participation by Nigerians. Also, Makanjuola has provided a key to make Nigeria an operation hub for helicopter service in West and Central Africa. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you very much all the way from Liverpool, Kudus, for joining. Thank you very much. And we are still showing you live around Iyanokpaja in Lagos, Nigeria. A lot of you might remember this. A lot of you might not even know what it looks like anymore. But as election is getting closer, Nigerians will be asking all kinds of questions. Campaign is about to kick off. But one thing is, Koiki Media will be bringing to you all the campaign that will be happening right to your doorstep. That's what we do. Let us take a look at the other messages. His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari, and let us take you through that. As you can see there, that's the sign indicating Iyanokpaja roundabout, a very busy one on a Sunday afternoon. People, all the traders, most of these, I don't know whether they have their PVC or not, but one thing is, don't joke with some of these traders. If you move closer to them, their PVC is right underneath them. They carry it along like anything else. But are they able to be convinced by some of these new political parties to tell them that they can bring something better? Or would they be voting for the incumbent? Or would they be voting for PDP? All these will all be determined by Nigerians themselves as the election is getting closer. We can only tell you what we see. We can only tell you what we hear. We can only tell you, bring to you what we think is happening on ground. We just left Ondo State. We've been there for the last 3 days. We're tired. Thank you to all the team that traveled with us. We hope to be back again there next year. Maybe for those of you that are outside the country and you're thinking of coming down for the Ondo Auto Rally, get in touch with Koiki Media. We've got a lot of packages that we can put together for you. Hotel, transportation. Make it something that you will experience. Maybe you've never had opportunity to travel to watch Lewis Hamilton because it's quite expensive. You might travel down to Nigeria with Koiki Media next year, and we can bring you the best of motorsports. Now, these are some of these different things that the federal government have put out to say they've been doing. It's quite a lot of them. The next level, that's what this headline says. I'm telling you, politicians will be spending so much for the next 3 months trying to convince Nigerians the reason why they should vote for them. And I'm sure the diaspora that doesn't have the PVC will also be campaigning, as we've seen that a lot with some of these new political party. We've got the AAC, Omoyele Sowore, we've got Fela Durotoye, Kingsley Moghalu, we've got Obi, Ekwesili. We also have a lot of other ones that will be, but this is what, the message that has been put out by the day. I'm sure this must have been paid for by who knows. Next level, that's what it says there. Next level, jobs. Next level is to engage 1 million NPower graduate, skill up 10 million Nigerians under the voucher system in partnership with private sector, agriculture, anchor borrower scheme to support input and jobs to 1 million farmers. I saw a lot of farmers. Let me turn the camera to myself and let's have a little bit of discussion, and we'll go back into the paper. Thank you very much. If you want to join, send a video request and I'll bring you live and you could join the conversation. I've just come back from Akure, and if we have a government that is serious about agriculture, there's still a lot of work to do. I'm telling you, with a little bit of what we saw, there's still so much, because it's a sector that can create jobs. Agriculture is divided into different, value chain, from the processing to the soil testing, just name it. There's a lot of opportunity there, but we must also look at it, whether we have enough in terms of support for the farmers. The federal government right now is putting in as many of what they might think of. Maybe if you're interested in my lovely bead, we have them for sales. You can get in touch with me. live here in Lagos, if you're in Nigeria and you think you love this, we have them on sale, so get in touch. One thing is, while we're looking at the agriculture sector, we will also continue to look at some of what the APC are saying will be the next level. Broadband, wow, that is something I would want to touch on. Amazing. A lot of Nigerians cannot connect. I mean, I was in Akure and we could not just get a good internet service because they are still using dial-up. And if you are running a business, an online business somewhere in Akure where we've just left, I can tell you there's no way that business is going to survive if there's no good internet connection. If you're running an online business, online platform, and you need to be online 24/7, 7 days a week, 31 days, 365 days in a year, and you don't have a good internet connection. But the government is saying here, next level, broadband. Treat broadband as critical infrastructure. We have addressed uniform right of way charges. Next level is to move broadband coverage to 120,000 kilometers of fiber network across Nigeria. That is something that, this is something that is very, very important to develop the economy of this country. And without a good broadband, we are going nowhere. Technology. I'm sure a lot of you will see Facebook as nothing, but the money Facebook is making is more than what some countries are making in a year. And we can only hope that will also have a big impact. Thank you very much for joining all the way from Canada. A very big brother, Olakoiki. We are just reviewing the paper, the Sunday newspaper, and also looking at the campaign that is about to take off today officially from INEC. All the political parties will be campaigning heavily. And one thing is, maybe some of you that don't know that the new political parties that have been engaging Nigerians, both at home and all outside the country, with their social media platform, especially Facebook, now we can tell you that more campaign will be coming through on Facebook from what we have read from this page of this day newspaper, November the 18th, 2018. Koiki Media live from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much to those of you that have watched, like, comment. People have the right to comment, but sometimes I tell people you can't put a rude comment. If you are not sure, you can ask us, and I could see a t-shirt there of Sanwo-Olu. Election is about to kickstart in Nigeria, and it's a reality. It's a $1 billion project. Yes. $1 billion project is this campaign for this election that is coming up. Naira. It's a $1 billion election campaign. I've been told some political parties have kept up to 10 billion naira. Naira. Wow, an amazing lot of money there. Anyway, education is also what is here. Healthcare. We were able to interview Emmanuel in Ikeja ShopRite, myself and Angela and Eric. I'm going to give you an update on that. I've not been doing a follow-up. I'm going to make a phone call to Angela and check on the driver to find out if Emmanuel has now been taken to the hospital. You will remember Emmanuel had a very big hole in his legs. His diabetes, stage 4. We can only hope that healthcare. Someone told me while I was in Akure that Nigerians are now going to Ukraine. It's crazy, to get medical help. Let us look at some other stories. Tikumi, Dangote excited, DJ Copy with a loving message. That is in that paper there. Dangote, I'm sure a lot of you know, we don't have to tell you who Dangote is, but our billionaire industrialist celebrate Otedola daughter at 26, DJ Copy. I'm sure a lot of you know her, or maybe some of you might not know her, but Dangote is saying hello to the daughter. What do you expect? They are both billionaires. Also, Vice President unquenched love for Bull Boss Abdul Samad Rabiu. That is iLife there. Once again, we're just looking at the paper review for today as the election kickstarts. Let's put the camera back up again so that you can get a view. While we are still looking at the paper, what do you think is going to happen as the campaign officially kickstart today? You know, APC, PDP, we have more of the young political parties, and some of them are not new, some of them have been out there. COA party, I was able to interview the former presidential aspirant, the only female, I think about 3 months ago while we were in London. COA party, YPP, so many of them. But one thing is, we can only have one president. So who is going to be the president of Nigeria 2019? So this is what we are looking at. While we are looking at that, it's going to be a very I'm sure a lot of you remember this face, and that is Banky W. He's also putting out you know, his head there. Let me read that a little bit. That is Banky W. Welcome me. I like this chap. Author, musician, husband. Thank you very much, Angela, all the way from US. We are back in Lagos from Akure, but I'm reviewing the paper today, and also as the election kickstart today, the campaign, they will be spending so much money. But I can only say, while we are about to bring this broadcast to an end, one thing is, for those of you that will be campaigning, let us do it the right way. Politicians are all friends. Whether you fight for yourself or fight on behalf of them on the social media, they all mingle together. They all have each other's phone number. They have conversation. But one thing is, Nigerians will decide in 2019 who will be the next president, whether it's the incumbent, whether it's the you know, PDP, AAC, Omoyele Sowore is there. There's a lot of them out there, but their message is, the message must go down. Let me give you a gist of my conversation between, almost before we got into Akure. We had a pullover and we were buying palm wine, Emu. And I was able to tell those Baba that, look, if this plantain that is sitting down here, nobody's buying them, you are just putting them on the high road, nobody's buying them, we can get them export. But how do we do that if we don't have the right system in place? It's just not going to happen. It's as simple as that. And this is the message I think, you know, most of these individuals, especially the new political parties, they must go inside, you know, leave Lagos alone, go deep into the rural area and tell them what you want to bring to the table. That is the, you know, can you fold it for me, please? That is the message that you must be able to take down to them, because after like 2-10 minutes, you know, conversation with them, I'm telling you, most of them are convinced that yes, they are suffering. Some of them doesn't know that they are suffering, but by the time you're able to tell them and explain to them, this plantain, I mean, we are buying £1 for 3 plantain in United Kingdom. I mean, in London, I don't know that part of the country. So if, and the guy said to, the Baba said to me, it's only £1. I said, 470 naira. Baba, any, Meta for 470 naira. I said yes. They were like, wow, that means this plantain needs to get to Europe. It shouldn't be sitting here in the rural area. But how is it going to get out there when they don't bring in the right people to vote in? They don't bring in the right people to, you know, to lead them. You know, they collect 2,000 naira, 500 naira from politicians, and at the end of the day, vote buying. Then what do you get? Nothing. And that is where the problem is. So most of them don't get the message. So if you're going to be campaigning, you must take it down to those that really need to understand, because most of them don't have a clue what is happening in Lagos. They don't have a clue what is happening in Abuja. Someone goes to the village with 100,000 naira, distribute 1,000 naira to each of them, and they just cast their vote. I'll be back tomorrow on Star Radio UK at 11 o'clock UK time, 12 p.m. Nigerian time, and we're going to continue to discuss this election that is coming up. Koiki Media will be on ground to give you all the reviews. We'll be looking at some of their manifestos. You know, that is what we're going to be looking at, and that is the most important thing. So make sure you stay tuned. And if you want to support, nothing is too small. We still need the support so that we can be able to continue to do more. And we'll be getting more review from Enugu State, Ibadan, and Abeokuta as well. We have our team in those areas. Emmanuel and Onura will be updating us from Enugu from tomorrow, at least, you know, daily, going around checking what Nigerians are going to be doing for 2019, who's going to be voting, who's not going to be voting. So make sure you stay tuned. Like our page, follow us. When you watch our videos on YouTube, can you please like the page? Because, you know, that helps us as well. And, you know, let me read that. What's that comment saying? Olayomi Koiki, you can also help Omoyele Sowore out by telling people, because this is not about Sowore. Well, one thing is, we are doing what we can do. I can tell you that. But the most important thing is the message must get to the people. Don't sit down on the WhatsApp group alone and think it will happen. It's not going to happen. And I'll leave it that way. I need to come off on the vehicle now. Thank you very much, everyone. I remain Olayomi Koiki of Koiki Media, and I'll be back again same time tomorrow. Have a good evening, everybody.